Ding Le Mei, Edwin Dingle, who is the founder of the Science of Mental Physics, he was an Englishman and he lived in the Orient for 21 years, and he was a map maker and a member of the Royal Geographical Society. And he was always a seeker and practiced and studied with Tibetan masters, learning these breathing techniques that are thousands of years old, passed down from master to student. And when Ding Le Mei arrived, he was visited by a Tibetan master that told him he was to put a caravan together and cross China into Tibet. And this was in the 1918, I believe, and formed this caravan, went across China into Tibet, and almost died several times. He was attacked by tigers. He developed malaria. All kinds of different life circumstances happened to him on his journey. And then he ended up at this Tibetan monastery where he was recognized as a returning Lama. So he passed the Lama test. They told him that they had been waiting for him. When he returned, they would know that it was time to send these teachings to the West. So that's how the Science of Mental Physics was born. And he called it the super yoga of the Western world. So it adopted the intricate breathing patterns of the East and then brought to fit the lifestyles of the West in the Western world. So it says the physical breaths are given in the outer teachings of mental physics, and they bring strength, harmony, and youth to the body. The inner teaching of mental physics and the breathings help you to learn the science of feeling. So that's what we're going to be practicing today, the science of feeling inside ourselves, so that you tune into the harmony of life. Most people know the importance of breathing for delivering oxygen to the cells of the body, but the ancient teachings talk about another substance called prana that's required for all of life. So in Sanskrit, it's called prana. In other practices, it could be called chi, or just life force, energy, vital force. In mental physics, we learn that this energy is used by the nervous system, and how we learn how to store it up in the brain centers to be used when necessary. Mental physics reveals the deeper powers of the mind and teaches you how to control its great potential. So the conscious mind is like the captain on the bridge of his ship. He directs its operations. And down in the hold of the ship, there's a power driving it through the water. That is like the subconscious mind in you. Your subconscious mind keeps the mechanism of the body going 24 hours a day, every single day of the year. And mental physics teaches you how to direct your power of the mind, so that all your organs and parts of the body function properly. And when the mind is directed properly, it can do amazing things. So mental physics will show us how to use the creative power available in our emotions. And your thought directing your feelings forms a magnet in the mass of eternal forces of vibration. So our bodies are like magnets. We're like a battery, we're electromagnetic chemical beings. So our bodies operate like a battery in that we have a positive and a negative side, and we can actually charge up our battery with this life force energy. So the first breath that we'll learn today, that we'll go over, is called the harmonic or balancing breath in mental physics. In many yoga cultures, it's just called alternate nostril breathing. And as I mentioned, the body has positive and negative poles to itself. So when we're breathing in through the left nostril, we're actually inhaling energy that goes in and down the left side of our body, charging our circulatory system. And then on the other side, when we're inhaling through the right nostril, it's coming in and down through the right side, charging our nervous system. So our nostrils will alternate every few hours during the day, every 2 or 3 hours. If we're healthy, they change it. One nostril is taking in more energy than the other. So if you're taking in too much in the left nostril, in the circulatory system, you may feel a little lethargic. If you're taking more in through the right nostril, in the nervous system, you might feel a little bit more anxious. So doing the alternate nostril breathing is just a really great way to balance your whole system. I'm going to read to you just a little bit about that. This one can be done anywhere, anytime. So as I mentioned, we just breathe in through one nostril at a time. And if the right nostril is involved, you know, if it's got too much air, like I said, there's mental and nervous disturbance. And if the left nostril is involved, getting too much air, you can have chronic fatigue and reduced brain function. So this exercise provides optimum function to both sides of the brain, and it just helps you to be more balanced of a person. And the ancient yogis consider this to be the best technique to calm the mind and the nervous system. And it's been proven that your breathing patterns can change your state completely. So even just doing this one throughout the day will just help you stay calm and centered. So the right side of the brain controls creative activity, as we know, and the left side controls the logical and verbal activity. So the research that was done showed when the left nostril is less obstructed, the right side of the brain then is more predominant. So the creative skills are more predominant. And then when the right nostril was left less obstructed, the left side of the brain was predominant. So this is, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else. This breath, the monks talked about curing people's asthma and different types of breathing problems by doing the alternate nostril breathing. They also believe that diabetes is caused to a large extent by breathing mainly through the right nostril. So whatever your problems, I've seen many people shift a lot of different health issues by practicing this powerful breath work. And the fact that it is so powerful, I'm going to need you guys to monitor yourselves while we're doing the breath. If you get dizzy, just sit down or close or open your eyes and monitor yourself while we're going along, and take your time. There's no rush in practicing these. As I always say, this is your own spiritual practice. So you want to just take your time and feel after these breathings we're about to do. So since Science of Mentalphysics is a science of feeling, we're going to, after we do the breathwork practices I'm going to show you, we will sit in silent meditation and listen to the affirmation after each breath in the voice of Ding Le Mei, and then we'll move on into the next breath and so on. So to get started, I'm going to say a little prayer to bring us all together. So let's just get in a nice quiet space and close your eyes. Find your center. Find the center of your own being resting here right now, right here in this time and space. Taking a big, deep breath in through the nose, all the way into the belly. And then relaxing, letting the air out gently. Do that a couple more times, just relaxing right down. Dear God, we just give thanks, so much thanks for bringing us here together. We feel ourselves together right here, right now, practicing this wonderful breath practice. And Almighty God, eternal fount of wisdom, please grant us knowledge and understanding and wisdom that we may speak here words of truth and love and hope. We ask for light from the higher spheres, and may our guides guard and control our mind and tongue so that nothing but the truth may here be given, and that the good seed sown may find fertile spots to live and grow. And those who are now in darkness or obscurity may be brought forth into the radiant sunshine and the joyous glory of the unfoldment of true spiritual goodness. Take a big, deep breath in. And now we imagine, since in our imagination we can do anything, we imagine a great wall of golden light about us. Nothing can penetrate or pierce this light as it holds us all protectingly in its own essence. Above us, the higher ones in the great hierarchy of universal wisdom, holding over us that gossamer substance that forms a panoply under which we all rest together in the great peace. Within this circle, there is wisdom, and below the circle, there is love. God is love. And now, moving into the harmonic breath, the balancing breath, preparing ourselves to practice the 8 key breaths. We're going to plug our right nostril. And in mental physics, the count is inhaling for 4, holding for 8, and then unplugging the first nostril and exhaling. Holding for 16, unplugging the right nostril and exhaling for 8. And then we inhale for 4, hold 16, exhale for 8. So all together, well, actually, I'm sorry, I forgot a few pointers. I'm just ready to get rolling here. There's a few things we're going to need to know about the 8 key breaths, which is, one is called the secret switch, which is placing your tongue behind the 2 front teeth. So you'll hear me or Ding Le Mei talk about pull the secret switch. That just means resting your tongue on the back of the 2 front teeth. The exhale in mental physics is a forceful exhale where your tongue will kind of flop down and the air shoots out through the middle. It's like a CH sound. So it looks like this, a big, deep belly breath all the way down into the deep belly, then into the middle chest, upper chest, and then into the throat. You'll hear myself or Ding Le Mei say big sniff. You're going to fill your lungs all the way to their full capacity. And then the exhale is like this. So you might want to grab yourself a tissue and blow your nose before we get started here, because they are very powerful breaths in through the nose, and you want your nasal passages to be clear. The other thing is the thought. So I'll say before each breath, first the thought, and that is a deep, profound reverence for the breath of life, the breath that is life. When I say first the thought, we say, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. You can say that or think it to yourself, whatever you prefer. You can say, I thank you, God. I thank you, creative spirit, whatever resonates with you. The idea is just to pause and take a moment of reverence for the breath, without which there is no life. I always am reminded of a quote Ding Le Mei says, which is, from the first breath of the newborn baby to the last gasp of the dying man, life is a series of breaths. So it's nice to become conscious of our breathing. Okay, so here we go for the harmonic breath. We're going to plug our right nostril, pull the secret switch. Now the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together, we're going to inhale for the count of 4 through the left nostril. And hold for the count of 16. We use the 2 thumbs because the thumbs correspond to the lung meridians. Counting to 16. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We unplug the right, we exhale for 8. Now again, we inhale for the count of 4 through the right nostril. Holding for 16. Unplug the left, exhale for 8. One more cycle. Inhale 4. Unplug the right. Exhale for 8. One more time. Inhale 4. Hold for 16. Unplug the left and exhale for 8. I love that breath. It always makes me feel so balanced. Okay. So now we're going to move on into the practice of the 8 key breaths of the Science of Mental Physics. These are the main breathings that are taught in the first course called the Initiate Group course. And they normally Ding Le Mei does not teach them all at once like I'm teaching you. Some people have practiced them before, and after we learn these, it's best to just take the first 1 or 2 breaths and master each breath before moving on into the next one, because these are a systematic series of breaths that are designed to bring you actually inside your body, where trauma and other things are stored in our cellular memory, and the process of doing the breath work brings all this stuff up and out to be released. So that said, you may experience, after doing these breaths, you might experience some emotions coming up. So just let everything that comes up be okay. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever is within you that is blocking your flow of energy and your ability to hold more light. All of that will be coming up and out to be released, so that we create more space in our body so that we can hold more light. And the practice of the breaths, it just hones all sorts of different different creative skills, and helps you understand the inner workings of your body and your mind on a deeper level. And it is not a religion at all. It is, Ding Le Mei called it a scientific, where science and spirituality intersect. It's a philosophy of thought, a multi-denominational philosophy of thought. So it actually is a systematic unfoldment of enlightenment, I guess, lightening up, giving yourself more space to hold more light. Okay, so the first breath is called the memory developing breath. This breath is the purging breath. It's more involved than the other breaths that I'm going to show you today. This one is done in 3 sets of 14 breathings, and then what he calls a final triumphant 7. And you're going to be taking in a lot of oxygen during this. So after each set of 14, I'll count, so don't worry about that. And after each set, I'll say rest. And at that point, you just want to sit inside yourself and watch, and just feel after all the breath that you're bringing into your body. Where is it going? What is it doing? And just feel any sensations. Sometimes my lips will get a little tingly and numb, or I'll get like some tingly sensation at the top of my head. You might feel hot or cold. Anything is fine. Just observe. Okay, and then we'll do 3 sets of 14, and then the final 7, and then I'll have you turn your palms upward for the affirmation in Ding Le Mei's voice. So this is I'm going to demonstrate the breath. I always liken it to the old-fashioned water pumps that you pump a whole bunch, you're pumping it, and then when you stop pumping, all that water flows through that pump. So our bodies are going to be like that water pump in this breath exercise. So as you're inhaling, your belly's coming out. And the culmination of the breath as your head goes all the way back, and then exhaling all that old stale air, pushing it out of your stomach. Inhaling again. This is what it looks like. And I'll go a little bit slow today so you can feel what it feels like and keep up. Ding Le Mei goes pretty fast in his recordings because he's doing it with students who practiced on a regular basis. Okay, so here we go. Palms downward on the knees, sitting up straight. Your spine is always straight and strong, thinking upward toward the top of your head. And now pull that secret switch. And next, the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. And up. Up. One more. Resting, watching and feeling. Relaxing any tension you might feel in your body. And now 2 more 7s. All together we exhale. And up. One more. Resting, relaxing. Following the feeling. And now 2 more 7s. All together we exhale. And up. One more. Resting. When we're doing these breathings, only the neck is moving. The body is still. And now, giving it your very best, our final triumphant 7. All together, we exhale, squeezing out all the old air, and inhale up. One more. Now sitting in the stillness, feeling after the energy. Turn your palms upward on the knees for the meditation in the voice of Ding Le Mei.
And now I imagine that great light at the top of my head. The top of my head is heavy and relaxed. The forehead is heavy. The eyes are relaxed. The muscles of the face are withdrawn. The jaw gently drops. No pressure on the teeth. The arms and the hands are very heavy. But oh, how happy I feel. I feel happy all over, particularly in my beautiful face. My face is bathed in smiles. My whole body is bathed in the blushes of my smiles. I feel a gentle pressure from within, outward. And that gentle pressure is taking away all little lines of fear, care, inward disappointment, anything negative. I feel happy all over. Now I bring the light down. The chest is relaxed. The abdomen falls down. And the light comes down, down, down to the tips of my toes. And now I imagine that great light at the back of my neck. I'm looking down over my beautiful spine. It seems that I'm looking at a wonderful waterfall with the sunshine playing on it, so that I see a countless number of tiny specks of iridescent light. Light! Light! And I know my whole body to be full of light. If thine eye be single, the single eye, the third eye, the inner eye, the spiritual eye, the creative eye, the eternal eye, if thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. And I know that every cell in that countless number of cells in my body is a lamp, a light, a torch, bringing to me the light of the divine wisdom within me. The light being in perfect correspondence with the flame, as the flame is in perfect correspondence with the fire, the fire, the fire that is in the center of centers of centers of centers of my innermost being, the fire of divine love within me, within me. And so, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Now, I lock it up. I make it my own as I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay, hopefully that felt really good for everyone. How's the sound on the Ding Le Mei affirmation? Is it easier? You guys can hear it? Okay, great. I was hoping this would work. Okay. So the breaths from here on out are done standing. So you'll need some room around you to be able to move your arms all the way around. Lots of space. The next breath, the revitalizing breath, The positions from here on out are very similar. So the heels are touching, the knees are snapped back, your body is pulled up to its full stature. So you're thinking upward to the top of your head, pulling upward with your head. You're also grounding down through the earth with your feet, pulling downward on your fingertips. So it's a very rigid position. Buttocks are tight. As I mentioned, the knees are snapped back. Everything is straight and strong like a lightning rod. Shoulders are back and down, pulling downward on the fingertips so you can feel your shoulders pulling down toward the ground. And your head and neck is always loose. So the revitalizing breath is very simple. It's just inhaling the air, as I mentioned, big, deep belly breath in. Don't be afraid to just stick your belly all the way out. Breathe all the way in, all the way into the chest. I'll say big sniff. Holding it, and then exhaling. When you're exhaling, you want to make sure you maintain this tension. So the exhale, everything is still tight. And then when you exhale all the rest of the old air out, you take a little breath and then relax completely. Sometimes after years of doing these, I get so tense when I'm doing it that I actually have to kind of unlock my knees just to tell my body to relax. So as important as the tension is while you're breathing and holding your breath, equally important is the relaxing on the other side for the same thing that we talked about with the water pump. You're pumping your body up, and then when you relax, it allows all of that energy to flow through all of your cells. It's just like bathes every cell in your body. Okay, so here we go, the revitalizing breath. This is the second breath in the 8 key breaths. Position. Buttocks are tight, heels are touching. This creates a 7-fold connection as if you were in the lotus position. It's electromagnetic connection for the body. Head and neck is loose, shoulders back and down. And now we pull the secret switch. And next, the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Keeping that tension. And now inhaling all the way deep into the belly, middle chest, upper chest, big sniff. Holding it, holding the tension. I am the master of my body. I am the master of my body. And now keeping that tension, no dropping of the head or the neck. Together, we exhale. And now relaxing right down, relaxing the whole body, keeping your eyes closed for the affirmation.
Now we relax entirely, coming right down. As I think of, as I feel for the inner meaning, the hidden meaning of these sublimely simple words. I am whole, whole. Nothing is lacking. Nothing can be added. I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. Full power. Every cell in my body is a complete power plant working for me. I am loving. I am that of which the universe is made, moving. I am loving. I am harmonious. In harmony, balance, poise, equilibrium. I am in harmony with the laws of this universe. I am rich. I am young. And now, as if innumerable streams of living light are coursing downward in the body, I am happy. I look happy. I feel happy. I am happy. And so, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, imagining that great golden shower of light going out in all directions, the secret of the golden flower. Slowly, I take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up as I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
When he says lock it up, he just means swallow. So all of that energy that you're bringing into your body, after you've breathed the breath, then you'll just swallow to lock it inside yourself. Okay, we'll move into the third breath. Unless anyone has any questions so far, you can just press your space bar if you need to unmute yourself for any questions. No? Okay. The third breath is called the inspirational breath. And this one, as you're inhaling, you're going to breathe slowly, raising your arms all the way up so that it culminates at the top. I don't know if you guys can see my hands. So the inhale slowly culminates at the top, big sniff. You're going to make a triangle at the top of your head, the triangle of manifestation. So Ding Le Mei taught it. Success to mental physics, send that through the triangle, and then success to whatever it is that you're creating for yourself. And then this happens very quickly. So success, backs of the hands together, everything's at the top of the head, and then we exhale in 4 parts. Just like that. All the breathings, what was I going to say about that? Just lost my train of thought. Okay, let's just practice the inspirational breath. So first position, heels touching, knees snapped back, buttocks are tight, pulling downward on the fingertips, pulling that secret switch. And now the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale, squeezing out the old air. And now we're inhaling all the way in. Big deep breath all the way up, big sniff at the top, right thumb under the left, making a triangle. Success to mental physics, success to you. Backs of the hands together, exhaling in 4 parts. And now relaxing entirely for the affirmation.
Now we relax entirely, coming right down, relaxing the whole body. I thank thee, Lord, for my body, the transcendently beautiful, the infinitely intricate, but the most gloriously accurate instrument in this universe. My body, the temple of the living God, the temple of the God that lives within me, that is alive within me. I stand in reverence. I stand in adoration. I stand in veneration before the wisdom pent up in the very substance of my body. And I pledge myself, I vow, that from this moment henceforward, nothing that I shall eat or drink, nothing that I shall do or say or think shall injure or abuse this temple of the living God, my body. And so, feeling happy upward, not thinking that I am happy only, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up. It is my own. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay, we'll move on into the fourth breath, which is the perfection breath. What I wanted to say is all the breaths are very controlled. So, like I said, the arm movements are very controlled, slow movements. In the perfection breath, we start out with the same position, and then when we get ready, our arms come out in front of us like this. So we'll inhale, and then when we're retaining our breath, we're going to do 3 swings like this, making our body into the shape of a cross. Very controlled movements. Swing number 2. Swing number 3. And then arms at the sides, and we exhale. So after this one, if you prefer to sit down for the affirmation, that's fine too. Okay? I'm sure you've probably caught it by now, but at the end of the affirmation, when he says, take a little breath and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. So at the end of every affirmation, that's what we do. We take a little breath and then just completely relax the body.
Jody?
Yeah.
Where are the thumbs? Is the thumb tucked or where?
The thumbs, you're just making a fist, so they're just resting on top of the fist. Yeah, you know, it's interesting because they're
on top like that, not like that.
Right. Show me again.
So like this.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Exactly. Yeah, they're just right. Don't tuck your thumbs in. They're just kind of resting on top.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you. And
sure. Hi. Thanks for joining, you guys.
So fun. I'm digging it.
Awesome. If it feels good, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness, it's so good.
Yeah, I needed this. I stayed up too late last night, so it's always good to pump your energy up with it. There is nothing more powerful than this breath work. I'm telling you what, when you practice it regularly, you'll see. Okay, the perfection breath. Here we go. Getting ready, heels touching, making that electrical connection, sticking our arms out in front. Actually, no, I'm sorry about that. We're going to go in position right here. Get everything tight first. In our standard position, pulling downward on the fingertips. Make sure your spine is always very straight and strong. Knees snapped back. Everything is tight. Okay. And pulling that secret switch. And now position. First, the thought. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now, all together, we exhale. Squeeze it all out. Now, inhaling, big, deep belly breath all the way down into the chest. Big sniff. And swing number 1. Swing number 2. Swing number 3. Arms down at the sides. We exhale. And then staying in the energy for the affirmation.
Now we relax entirely, coming right down as I prepare myself to think the greatest thought I ever shall be able to think. Whatever the Creator is, I am. Differentiated from all other life forms in this universe. I am the Creator in the human form. The Creator is right here, right in the heart of me, right in the mind of me, right in the substance of me. right in the being of me. Reveal thyself, O Lord of my life, O Lord of the eternal, thou that art the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. Come, I wait, I listen, I am still, I watch within me. And now I will to see the Creator at work within the temple, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Now I lock it up. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Try to give you guys a minute after each breath because I always get really into the meditation and it's hard to just jump right up and get into the next breath. So the next one we're going to do is called the vibromagnetic breath. And this one is what Ding Le Mei calls the first of the electrical breaths, the fifth breath. Again, heels touching, knees snapped back, everything is the same position, except in this breath, when we breathe in while we're holding our position, after we're retaining our air, we're going to do 3 swings around with our palms facing each other, just like this, as far as your arms can swing. Nice and controlled movements all the way around. And swing number 3, just like that. Arms at the sides and exhale. Okay. The vibromagnetic breath. Okay, so first position, buttocks tight, heels are touching, pulling down on the fingertips, pulling the secret switch. And now the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale. Want to keep that tension all the way through the exhale. Inhaling, holding the tension, breathing all the way in, all the way up, big sniff. And swing number 1, palms facing each other, not too fast. Swing number 2, keeping the tension. Swing number 3. Arms at the sides pulling down, we exhale. Relaxing completely.
And now we relax entirely, coming right down. And now I'm thinking of the loveliest thing I have ever known. The loveliest thing I have ever known. There it comes before my mind, that beautiful picture, perhaps from the long ago, perhaps from the far away, but there it stands perfectly clearly delineated before my mind as if it happened but a moment ago. I thank thee, Lord, for my memory. I thank thee that I am able to bring back from the vault of the past any beautiful thing that is in my memory. And I pledge myself, I vow, that from this moment henceforward, nothing shall enter my memory. No idea of negation of whatsoever kind. No idea of disease, decay, senility, old age, disappointment, doubt, failure, death, Nothing shall enter my memory but that which is in unison with all good and my own very highest conception of truth. And there I see my whole conduct. There I see the whole conduct of man. And so I will that that picture shall be lost again in the absorption of my being, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly, and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. And now I lock it up. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay, we'll move on to the sixth breath, which is called the cleansing breath. This one's very similar to the vibromagnetic. Same position, pulling downward. The difference is that when we circle around now, we're going to have our palms facing downward. And then we're going to touch our thumbs behind us. So we start out with this breath with the right hand holding the left, pulling down with the elbow. So when you do that, as you can see, it straightens your spine. Okay, so the right hand is holding the left. And then when we get ready, we unlock and we do swing number one, up and around. And then we touch behind us. It kind of forms a little triangle, touching the thumbs. Swing number two, touch, and swing number three, touch, and then relax. And then you'll stay standing for the affirmation for the cleansing breath. Okay, here we go. The sixth breath of the Science of Mental Physics, the cleansing breath. Everything is tight. Buttocks are tight, heels are touching, pulling downward on the fingertips. Head and neck is loose. And now we pull that secret switch. And now the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now all together we exhale, squeezing out the old stale air. And now inhaling light and life all the way in, all the way up, big sniff. And get ready. Oh, guys, we've got to start that one over because I forgot our position. I'm so sorry. Let's start that one over. So here we go. First position for the sixth breath. Right hand holding the left, pulling downward to straighten out the spine. Now it's going to be a little trickier to grab your breath when your position is like this. So just try to force that air all the way down into the belly when you're breathing in through your nose. Okay, everything is tight. Let's think the thought again. I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. All together we exhale. Okay, now breathing all the way in, light, life, all the way up, big sniff. And we unlock and swing number one, palms facing downward, touching the thumbs. Swing number two, touch. Swing number three, touch. Arms at the sides, we exhale. Relaxing right down.
And now I imagine a great heat at the base of my spine. I can feel it coming up. It's coming up. And now I imagine a great light that comes from the flame, that comes from the fire, that gives the heat. It's coming up and out, up and out. I imagine a peacock feather of gold in my spine. It's coming up and out, up and out. It seems to strike upon the surface of my body. It seems to go beyond my body, up and out. Now I'm thinking of the top of my head, and I see my whole body to be full of light, the light of the divine wisdom that is in every living thing. And now I will fan the living flame that brings the light, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. I lock it up, so I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
Okay. We'll move on into the 7th breath, which is called the Grand Rejuvenation breath. This one is a little bit trickier. This one, put your palms on, resting on your hip bones, kind of just under the rib cage, resting on the hips. You're going to pull your elbows as far forward as you can get them. It's such an awkward position. And then the position is also the same. Everything is tight. And when we inhale and we're holding our breath, we're going to bring the head down and back, down and back, down and back. This is all while we're holding our breath. And then we'll stand upright, totally straight. Exhale completely, squeezing all the old air out. And then when we're completely empty of air, we're going to bring our body down and back. We do this 3 times. Down and back, still pulling forward on the elbows. Down and then inhaling and slowly dropping the arms. This one still gets me. I have come close to passing out with this breath. A couple of them actually, but just monitor yourself and go nice and easy. And if you need to take a breath a little bit sooner, then go right ahead. We're just going to get the mechanics of it down. And okay, any questions so far, anybody? Gonna put my glasses on. You can see. Look at all those pretty people. Okay, guys, here we go. Grand rejuvenation breath. Number 7. Heels touching. Position, elbows pulled forward. Standing straight and strong. Buttocks are tight, knees are snapped back. Head and neck is loose. And pulling that secret switch. First, the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now, all together, we exhale. I'm breathing in deep in the belly, all the way in, breathing in light, life, big sniff. And we bring the head forward and back, forward, back, forward, and back. We stand upright. We exhale. Squeezing out the old air, bringing the body forward and back, forward and back, and forward, and nice big breath, and relaxing right down.
I am youth. I am youth. I am youth. Now I remember my second lesson. I see before me that picture of my idealized self. I see that luxuriant hair, those sparkling eyes, that beautiful, beautiful face, unlined and happy, rounded neck, strong arms and hands. And now I come down over that beautiful being. I thank thee, Lord, for the truth of my being. I am youth, wondrous, glorious, vibrant, vivacious youth, achieving youth, fearless youth, full of courage, strength, power. I thought my body wore out and grew old, like an old pair of shoes. But now I know, as I stand in the presence, new cells are being made for me. I am being renewed. I sing, I shout, I rejoice. I sing the song of conquest. There is no age for me, no decay, no senility, no death. I am free, free, free from the ravages of time, free from all negation of my own mind. And so, feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping, sweeping sigh.
Okay, we're doing great. We're going to do the final breath. It's called your own spiritual breath. This one's the only one that's done with the feet apart. Feet are hip width apart. And it's the same position with the elbows pulling forward and the hands resting on the hips. And we're going to, when we breathe in and we're holding our breath, we're going to go to the right like this. See how my left toes are touching, but my right heel is up. To the left, same thing. To the right. We do this 3 times on either side. It's hard to remember to keep your elbows pulled forward, but do your best. To the left. So 3 times on each side. Stand center. Exhale. And then relaxing right down. And you'll stay standing for this affirmation after the 8th breath. Okay? So here we go. Your own spiritual breath. Find your center. Feet hip width apart. Now position, elbows pulling forward, pulling that secret switch. And next, the thought, I thank thee, Lord, for the breath of my life. Now, all together, exhale. Now, breathing all the way deep into the belly, all the way up. Big sniff. To the right. Lifting up the left heel, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Now we stand center. We exhale. Then we slowly drop the hands, relaxing right down.
Now I'm thinking upward to the top of my head. I'm thinking joy, 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 joy. And now simultaneously we send it out. I embrace this class. I embrace all in mental physics, wherever they may be. I embrace the city. I embrace the state. And then I watch as I see those great waves of light rolling out, growing of their own nature. I embrace the country. I embrace the whole world. I embrace the whole human race. And now with the light of the divine wisdom within me, with my love, with my joy, with my life, I embrace every living thing. And now I stand fast, lest the light be too great for me, as it returns to me by that mystic fourfold law, not from the one point from which I sent it, but from all the points. It's coming back, back, nearer, nearer, nearer. And now it embraces me. It embosoms me. It overwhelms me. That light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, so that I know my whole body, this wide universe, to be full of light, light, light. And now I will charge every cell of my physical body with that light of the divine wisdom, that love, that joy, that life that comes to me from every living thing, as feeling happy upward, giving thanks outward, slowly and a long, deep, sweeping sigh. Now I lock it up. It is my own. As I take another little breath and a quick sigh.
All right, nice work. Part of mental physics, the breathings are a big part, and there's also affirmations. And you know how he says, I thought my body wore out and grew old, but now I know, no death, no doubt, no failure, no disease, no decay. When I first learned about affirmations, he calls those negations, and I was really into positive affirmations when I started learning the breath work, and I was like, I'm not going to do the negations. That's old school thinking. But in reality, what he says is there's only one law, the law of life. All negation is of our own mind, right? So that's what we're trying to purge. We're trying to purge any idea of negation of whatsoever kind that exists within us, because that causes old age, disease, decay, senility, all that kind of thing. And in reality, our cells are being remade for us all the time. Our body is completely different. We have new complete cells every, I think, 7 years. It's the entirely new body. The only reason we keep creating the same thing, if we do, is because our thoughts are the same. So if you change your thought, change your thinking, and change your breathing, you will change your whole life. Part of mental physics are the affirmations, and he talks about knowing, using the creative word wisely, knowing that whatever we declare, we build that into our consciousness, right? So especially when we say I am statements, I am this, I am that, we are literally rolling out balls of energy into the universe, declaring that as the creator within. We're using the creative word to declare ourselves, I am whatever. It could be whatever you want. So in knowing that we build into our consciousness those things that we declare, I'm going to say some statements, and I want you guys to hear. I'll say them in first person, and I want you guys to feel after these statements inside yourself. Okay, just feel what they mean for you inside yourself as I say them. Okay, knowing that we are building these into our consciousness. Okay, repeat these after me in firm and positive tones. I am eternal life. I am eternal love. I am truth. I am peace, and peace dwells in me. I am power. I am wisdom. I am justice. I give thanks for all that ever was. I give thanks for all that is. I give thanks for all that ever will be. I question not the divine love and wisdom and justice. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be blissful. And may all beings be happy. And there's one more little thing I wanted to share before we do the sevenfold peace chant, which is something I found that Ding Le Mei wrote on the subject of perfection. So we did the perfection breath, and in the 9 positives of the Science of Mentalphysics, he says, I am whole, I am perfect, I am strong, I am powerful, I am harmonious, I am loving, I am rich, I am young, and I am happy. So when he speaks of perfection, he means the perfection of the Creator that is us. So however we look at it as human beings, we're perfectly imperfect, but we have the perfection of the Creator that is us, right? Expressing, I'm the Creator is expressing as Jody, and you guys are the Creator expressing as your own self. And so what he says is, he wrote this on perfection. He says, the way that I teach myself is by the study of simple things. So this is going to be some homework for those of you that choose to take this on. Thus, isolate some simple idea. So take your eye, for example. You want to do this on your own. It's a mirror exercise. So you want to look at your eyes and make your eyes do what you want them to do in transforming your own feelings. So when you're facing a mirror, you want to think a certain thought of love, for example. Think of God. Think of the beloved within you. You're looking into the eyes of the beloved, and your own eyes express your highest emotions. And as you watch, you will actually see in your own eyes the reflection of the height of the transcending feeling of your love for the beloved. Okay, so you'll want to watch your eyes when you're doing this. And then think of an anxiety thought. So imagine something that causes you anxiety and notice the change in your eyes. And at the same time, note the change in your own feelings, not only in your eyes, but throughout your entire body. And then the third part is think a success thought. And instantaneously your eyes will change, charged with the picture that you have in your mind of success. Your eyes will reflect the success emotion, and so on and so on. It's just a little experiment that you can do in the mirror. It says, think of the perfection of the registration of your eyes, how they perfectly reflect the perfection of your feelings, no matter whether the feeling be one of grief or hate or fear or anxiety or pain or misery, or whether the feeling is one of joy, hope, light, courage, peace. So then you can go a little further and feel that what you can actually see in your own eyes is going on all over your beautiful body. And the effect is for good or ill, right? Think perfection and you'll become perfect. Think negation in any form and you will reflect negation, which is the advanced guard of death, which is the reverse of what we are, because we are life and life is perfect. Okay, so as we go, we're going to do the sevenfold peace chant. This is how it goes. It starts with a triangle on the top of the head. We're holding down the negative energy with our left hand. We're creating positive vibes with our right. And this is what it looks like. Peace. So it'll be opposite for you guys. Peace. 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 I hope you guys are feeling better than you did before you joined. Anybody have any questions on anything? Go ahead, Karen.
So the homework to look into the mirror was you do perfection, anxiety, and then what was the third one?
Yeah, you can actually do anything that you want, but these are just distinctly different thoughts so that you can register the change in your eyes. The third one was a success thought. Yeah. And I want to tell you guys, so in mental physics, he does a lot of, when we were studying, we do a lot of experiments, just like spiritual experiments. Okay. And I had these next door neighbors that had 28 grandchildren and like 10 children, and all of whom were there at one point or another, or lots of people. They were always angry. They were yelling. This was years ago when I first started studying. They were always yelling at each other, and it was getting, every time I would hear that, I would get anxious. The little kids would come over here because they didn't want to be yelled at. And so what I did was I took it on as an experiment, and every time I heard them yell, it triggered my prayer. I heard a yell, it made me pray. Yell, pray, yell. And this is for the highest good of all concerned, right? I didn't have any intention other than to send peace to the family, right? That was, they had a string of bad luck. No wonder they were angry. They had every right to be. I just was using what I was learning at the time to send them peace. Now, what happened, if you hold the highest good of all concerned, that's not like, oh, I want my neighbors to move out. No, I want them to be happy, whatever that means for them, right? And so what happened is all of a sudden, these people, the property started getting cleaned up, and the people started moving out. The individual, the children with the families started getting their own places and everything. And then eventually, I guess they sold the house after 30 years of living there, and the woman was able to get her own little place like she always wanted. I mean, it was just a series of events that unfolded. I got these nice, quiet neighbors next door now, like a really quiet couple. And it's funny. And then I thought, wow, that's amazing. I'm going to try it for the people across the street who are similarly inclined, and they don't seem to be happy. And same thing happened. I didn't ever intend for either neighbor to move. I just intended for there to be peace for everyone involved. And my neighbors across the street ended up moving too. They had a big, really loud family, always, making huge noises. And I got a single woman that moved into the house across the street. So it can be used to clean up the hood. Just kidding. But that's the thing though, is we're all connected. There's only one. So when we heal, this is really important work we're doing with the breath work, because when we heal this stuff that exists within us, we heal it in the whole. We heal the microcosm in the macrocosm of the whole universe. And when Ding Le Mei says in that affirmation, he says, I see my whole body, this wide universe full of light, because we are the center of the circumference. Each one of us is the center of the whole, and we're just connected. So I'm really grateful that you all showed up here today and that you're doing your own good work for the whole. Okay. Any other questions, comments, feedbacks? Could you hear the Ding Le Mei's voice okay? Was that, yeah? Okay. Julie, is it better than my external thing that I had? Yeah? Okay, good. Great. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Love seeing your faces. You're all muted. Let's see if I can unmute you here. Still trying to figure.
Thanks, Jody.
Here we are. Oh, thank you. Thanks for showing
So
up.
awesome.
Appreciate it. Hope you guys feel really great today and have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to be doing this every Wednesday at 11. I'm getting my courage up a little bit more as I go along to want to do. I'd like to come online now and then and do some meditations. I have a whole bunch of wonderful information from this Science of Mental Physics that I'd love to share. It goes deep. So as I go along, I'll probably just share little tidbits. And if there's anything you want to know for, specifically, let me know.
Thank you. I loved it.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Great breath work. Thank you.
Great.
Bye.
All right. Have a great day. Karen, I'll contact you. Yeah. We're going to talk later today, maybe.
Yeah, what's a good time for you?
Okay. Maybe in an hour. That work for you?
Anytime.
Okay. I'll contact you.
So call me?
Yeah, I'll call you.
Because I don't answer I don't hear text.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll
Thank
call
you, Jody.
Okay,
That
thank
was
you,
great.
Liz. Oh, I'm so glad.
And
so glad.
you're beautiful too.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, bye. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you in a bit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Elena.
Oh, you heard me. Oh,
I heard you. I see you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.